if I could guarantee Henry would be okay, I'd hope you get an illness and then get hit by a car and die. I just had sex. I'm about to eat nachos. The greatest moment of my life.
The dichotomy of man. As some of you may know, I have a TikTok account called Blue Puffin Media in which I teach filmmaking to amateur filmmakers. Because of this, I am quite often inundated with filmmaking TikToks that I see from other people. These can range from behind the scenes videos to tips and tricks to just random filmmaking tips. And some of them are really great and super helpful and have honestly helped me in my filmmaking journey as well. And then some of them are pretty terrible. This is a trend that I've seen a lot lately where people will watch a TikTok and then react to it. And I thought what better way to join in on this trend than to watch some film TikToks. If you guys have any filmmaking TikToks that you want me to react to for the next video, please DM me on Instagram, send me the link, and I will do it. Just to be super clear, for this first one, I'm literally just looking at Filmtok and scrolling down the first 10 that I see.
Making a movie scene with whatever my mom says.
Give me a mood.
Romance.
Give me a color.
Orange.
Give me a verb.
Cheating.
This is a great idea, by the way. This is a great idea to like have someone give you a couple restraints and then try to make something out of that. I do this all the time and it helps me honestly be more creative because when you have too many options, when you have unlimited possibilities, it's just that much harder to make a film. So I actually really like this off the bat. Let's see how he does.
I always knew that you talked to her, maybe did even worse. I kept quiet so I could keep you. And ain't it funny how you ran to her the second that we called it quits? And ain't it funny how you said you were friends, now it sure as hell don't look like it. You betrayed me, and I know that.
Okay. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about this. First thoughts, complete first thoughts. First and foremost, I actually hate the text message thing. I even use it sometimes, but I personally don't like it. I think it's overplayed at this point. The cinematics, the visuals themselves were great. And the editing, the cuts that he had, super quick cut. I didn't feel like a single shot led on for too long. I think he did a really good job here. But I will say, and whenever I see the cheating trope, the cheating girlfriend trope, it just feels fake. It always feels fake. This has 6.7 million views, or I'm sorry, 6.7 million likes, which is a lot, even for TikTok. So obviously people liked it, but I will say he did a really good job here. I just think it felt a little bit fake in my opinion.
I filmed a commercial in my
Pause.
college.
I've seen this. This girl's name is Ashley. I've actually seen this exact video. She makes the most incredible videos, and I have a lot to say about her. Hold on, here we go.
Dorm. So since my dorm is quite small, I didn't have space to set up my backdrop stand, so I turned my desk into a makeshift set with 2 bed sheets.
I love this. First of all, I live currently in a kind of a small apartment, 600 square feet that I share with my roommate. As a filmmaker, it is very hard to work in a small space, and sometimes you have to get very creative. And making big budget commercials or things that look like big budget commercials can be very difficult in small spaces. You can see that she does this, but you have to implement stuff like backdrops and VFX and practical effects in order for the video to look big budget when it's really shot in like a small dorm room. She shot this in an actual dorm room. My apartment is much bigger than my dorm room was freshman year. I can't even imagine how I would have done this then. I'm gonna keep watching.
I stuck a lemon slice on a paintbrush, spun it around, and masked it in with a Sprite and Post to make it fly out from behind the can. Here, I cut the can in half and poured water through it to make it seem like the camera was inside the can. Without further ado, here is the final commercial.
Hit it, boys.
Yep. Beautiful. No, this is gorgeous. From doing this commercial on TikTok, she was able to get like big brands working with her, and she still does to this day. She really, this video took her off. I believe it was this one. The only shot that I really didn't like in this was literally just the hand moving the glass. It felt a little choppy because she was shooting this on a tripod and had to digitally make that camera movement. And if she would have done that, like if she had someone on a dolly moving it or even just on a gimbal kind of following that motion, it would have made for a much smoother shot. That's the only thing that took me out of it a little bit. But the fact that she was able to make this entire thing with literally a tripod and a camera and a lot of editing work, like a lot, super incredible. This just goes to show you, if you're a low-budget filmmaker, if you're a kid who doesn't have a lot of money, or you just don't have a lot of experience, you don't need the equipment to make a high-budget looking commercial. You know what I mean? Number 3.
How to get away with murder. There are a few simple rules you must follow. Rule number 1, pick a location, preferably a location that is more remote. Some examples: a farm or an island if you're rich enough. Rule number 2, don't leave a mess. If you're going to do it, be discreet. Nobody wants to clean up a huge pile of blood and splattered brains on the wall. And finally, the last and most important rule: don't be stupid. Remember every single tiny detail of your performance. Make sure your work is untraceable. You wouldn't want to be caught, would you?
So, okay, this one was very obviously shot on an iPhone. You know, I saw some of these shots and I was like, okay, this is a zoomed in shot from an iPhone. There's no real depth of field to any of these shots. That's another telltale sign that it wasn't shot on an actual camera. But that being said, she did a very good job on this film. I think the little accent she does is perfect. I think it really adds a lot to the overall aesthetic of the film and the feel. There's a lot of symmetry that's very aesthetically pleasing with the plates and whatnot. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one personally. It was really well done. Yeah, I thought it was really well done. Number 4.
Did you know? In A Quiet Place, made in 2018, in the opening grocery store scene, the shelves are mostly empty except for this aisle right here, which is full. But if you look closely, you can see that those were potato chips, which makes sense because no one wanted to risk making noise by opening or eating the chips.
So to me, this is really what filmmaking is. It's paying attention to every little detail about the world that you create. And even if people don't know that it's there, even if you don't explicitly say that it's there, people can look at little context clues and figure it out. And even if you didn't know that, even if you didn't know that the chips were there because they were too loud to open, you would still understand the movie. One of my all-time favorite TV series that I just finished watching is BoJack Horseman, and if you guys have watched the series, you know they do stuff like this all the time where they have little Easter eggs in there, and they'll have little details that even if you didn't see, you wouldn't understand the story any less, but it just adds that much more to the film. Number 5.
Most of the time when you see actors smoking on screen, we use something called prop cigarettes. They're herbal cigarettes that are tobacco, nicotine, and additive free. They also look quite real in an actor's fingers. John Hamm went through packs of these while filming 9 seasons of Mad Men. Now when we cut one open, you'll notice there isn't tobacco inside. It looks more like herbs. No, not that herb, but you know, rose petals, clover, and tea leaves. Sometimes the smoke is added in post-production using CGI, like the scene in Fight Club. I also love the scene from Training Day, and Denzel uses the cigarette well as a prop. As you can see, these burn just like regular cigarettes, but aren't as harmful or addictive. Now remember, even smoking prop cigarettes isn't good for your health, and even if you're Danny Zuko, smoking isn't cool. Thanks for coming to Film Talk.
So this is David Ma. As you guys can see, I follow him. I don't know him personally, but he's one of my favorite TikTokers at the moment. He's just an industry vet and knows so much about filmmaking. I've never seen this video from him, surprisingly, but I did know this. I did know that actors smoke fake cigarettes on screen. But I really didn't know this. I didn't know what was inside of prop cigarettes. I didn't know that they came in packs like this. I don't know why. I kind of thought people just made them and brought them to set in little like plastic baggies. This makes a lot more sense. I'm actually going to go on Amazon right now and see if I can buy some. They are $12 on Amazon. Good to know. Number 6. I gotta pause it for a second. I saw Jaws 3 with my dad like 5 or 6 years ago. And even, or maybe it was longer, even as like a 12-year-old, like a middle schooler, I was so into that movie until I saw that shot. Let's scroll back for a second. It took me out of it when I saw that. It really did. Even as a kid, I was so sad to see that. I honestly thought it was a mistake, which is what that movie was. All right, let's keep going. So when you're in a movie, you don't want to be taken out of the story. And there's a lot of things that can do that. Bad acting, for one, shoddy camera work, and most notoriously, bad CGI. CGI is something that is supposed to be unnoticeable, and I'm sure you have seen a lot of shots that you didn't even think were CGI that really were. Sometimes I kind of like bad CGI. It makes me laugh, like a lot of these. Anyways, number 7.
No, Ray, don't. My nose is very bad.
Now, take every bit of that junk off your face.
My eyes are all wrong and my ears are too big and I've got no chin.
I know. Come on, take it off, then put on your eyebrows and your lipstick the way you always do, and I'll do the rest. Come on, you've got to be made up and ready to shoot that test by 9 o'clock.
But Mr. May...
I think at this critical moment you might call me Norman.
Norman, what difference does it make how well I sing if my face is so awful?
Your face is just dandy. Now wipe it off.
Oh, man. I'm not sure if the music that was playing was the actual music that was playing during the scene. I actually have no idea what this movie is. I probably should. I'm probably a terrible filmmaker for not knowing what this movie is. I really don't. But that was absolutely beautiful. I think a lot of people nowadays don't realize how hard it is to convincingly act in a scene. To show that level of raw human emotion and make it convincing is just very difficult. And this is a very intimate scene between two people, and it really convinces you. It really convinces you that it's real. I watched this scene and I felt like I was really looking into an interaction between two people that wasn't staged or scripted in any way, and I love that. Next one.
If I could guarantee Henry would be okay, I'd hope you get an illness and then get hit by a car and die. I just had sex. I'm about to eat nachos. The greatest moment of my life.
The dichotomy of man. I have not seen all of Adam Driver's movies. It's something that I need to do. I have not seen Black Klansman yet. I need to see that. Kind of going back to the last TikTok, that raw human emotion is very hard to show, and especially when you're surrounded by lights and cameras and other people, it's very hard to do that. I can't even imagine being on that level of a set doing that line. He's using his facial expressions, he is using his voice, his tone of voice, his body movements, everything in his body to convey the message that he's trying to convey in the dialogue. Of course, I'm talking about the nachos line, right? But in all seriousness, he's an amazing actor, and that's all I have to say about Adam Driver. All right, for the last TikTok, I have no idea what's coming next, but I'm gonna scroll and we'll see. This is the last one. I love these ones. I've seen a couple of these. I haven't seen this one. I love these ones. When the actors get so into it that this might be a joke. This might be a joke TikTok. I'm not sure yet. I love things like this when the actors get so into it that they literally feel like they're actually in the scenario and they start to feel like it's real. I was actually on set when something like this happened. I was filming a theatrical performance, and throughout the entire film, this immigrant girl was sort of becoming friends with this older gentleman who was played by a woman. They travel to all different parts of this country, and in the end he ends up dying, and she starts crying. And I'm filming this. Keep in mind, me and a couple of my guys are like filming this on sticks. Camera's cut. We're done filming. She's still crying for 5 minutes. People had to console her. You know, she was really, really like upset about this, and she was really feeling her character. And it's something that can happen. It's honestly kind of beautiful. So I'm actually really excited for this one.
So I never really knew you. God, I really tried to. Blindsided, addicted. Thought we could really do this. Really, I was foolish. Hindsight, it's heartbeat.
Have the key, you cocksucker.
Talking mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're
Motherfucker. I didn't know that one. I had no idea he actually punched him. Whoa.
Hit me in the ear. I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
I did know this one.
Get out of here.
Such an iconic line, too. I'm walking here. There's a lot of cases where that happens, where an actor actually, something really happens that wasn't scripted and they end up keeping it. It's really cool because you can't even differentiate. Like, I never knew any of these before I found them out that it wasn't really acting, because these actors are just so professional and so good at what they do that it just seems, everything they do seems real. So even when something real happens, it seems real, because it is, you know? I actually really enjoyed these. I scroll on TikTok all day anyways, so it's not even that big of a deal at this point. I'd love to make another one of these, so if you guys have any suggestions, I would love to do some more like actual filmmaking tips, more like production side of filmmaking, rather than just like studying the acting, you know? But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, please feel free to DM me on Instagram the links to the TikToks you want me to react to, and I would love to shout out some people in the next video. If you like this, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting new videos every single week on Wednesday. And as always, guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.